Alright, grade 11, we're going to do a difficult problem now. That is activity 5, number 1, on page 164 of your green textbooks. So, this is the program. The problem is, the exercise problem is that we're going to write a program which is going to make a provision for a maximum of 30 learners' names, maximum of 30 to be stored into an array. So you guys are 22, so we would enter 22 names, but a maximum of 30. So it must be stored in an array. When you look at the program, you'll see we have 2 button clicks. So, well, let's go make our array global, and we'll go over here and we'll say ARR names colon array 1, 2. Now I'm going to actually max num. I'm going to put in a constant there. String. Now max num I have not declared. That is going to be a constant, and I'm going to go right up here. I'm going to say constant. Wait, no, not there, not under type. Right over here. Let's go and do this. Say constant max num equals 30, like such. When you run the program, you'll see there's no compiler errors, so everything's fine. If I had to put this constant inside the type, then it's going to be a problem. But the constant gets declared up there, or you can put it down below over here on top of this var, yeah, or below it even. But it's fine there because we're going to use it over here. Max number is 30. So when you want to go and change this, say now you come tomorrow and you change it to 35, the programmer changes it. That's what how constants work. You can only change it once, and that's there before runtime. And then every time we refer to max num, we have it. Now, here's the thing. This section of work describes the fact that we have a counter that goes and piggybacks along, travels along with our array, and that counter will count how many actual boxes there are. We know we can go up to 30 with that, but how many are actually filled? That is the good question. We need to have a counter that's going to count how many actual boxes of our array is going to be filled with names. So we always go and declare a counter, and I'm calling it rcount ARR for counter array, and it's an integer, and I'm declaring it wherever I declare my array. Okay, so now in the enter button, the number of learners, the people are going to enter their number there, and in the enter button, we double click it. It would be a good idea to val it first. I would like to val that edit box, val, to make sure it is an integer. PDT number dot text rnum comma rcode. Now the val procedure you should know, but if you don't, well, come and refresh your memory. There it is. It receives a string, 3 parameters of val. It's a procedure. That's why we write it just like that. No equal sign, no rich edit lines or add. Val is the name of the procedure. It has 3 parameters. The first one is a string. The second parameter is the type of data that we wanted to try and convert it to. In this case, we want to try and convert it to an integer. And the third parameter is going to be a number that will be returned, an integer that will be returned. If it's 0, then we know that we successfully converted, the processor could successfully convert this string into an integer if our code is 0. So, but if our code is not 0, then we're going to show a message and exit. Please only enter an integer, and we will exit. Right, so that exit will make sure that this procedure will stop. So So we don't need to put anything else in. Now we can continue with our work. We're going to make a variable to hold the number, the number of names that are going to be entered in there is actually going to be our count ARR. Yeah, because that's the number of names, that's how many names you want to have entered. Our count ARR. Come on, copy and paste, please. Copy, Control C, Control V. Our count ARR will be equal to EDT number dot text. So now we've got our count ARR. Now we're going to go and use the for loop, because we want to go from k equals 1 to our count ARR. We're going to ask the user to enter a name, and we're going to put it straight into our array of names, square brackets k equals input box enter name, and then I'm going to put a number. I'm going to put, so we can see which number we're dealing with. So just so you can see that, let's put it on the new line. Oops. There it is. Error names k equals input box statement, 3 parameters. Remember, input box. The second parameter I'm actually referring to name, number, and then the k is going to be there from 1 to whatever our count ARR is. Let's say our count ARR is 3, whatever, and then we can go number 3 will be there. We'll know where we are. Enter name, and then that's going to be the third parameter of the input box. You know how to work input box. So that's one thing that the for edit, undo, edit. There we go. Right. So there we go. That's a for loop filling up the array of names. What's the next thing that we have to do? Let's read the instruction. Make provision for maximum of 30 learners on how many learners there are. If 5 or fewer, then all the portfolios must be moderated. So if our num learners is 5 or less than 5, we're going to go and put all the numbers into our all the names into this Richard. If our count ARR is less than or equal to 5, then we will display every single one of the names. Okay, all of them in our Richard. Already output dot lines dot add ARR names square brackets k. We are displaying each one of the names in the rich edit if our count ARR is less than or equal to 5. I'm going to go and put in 3 names. Oops, error, editing number. Our count editing number dot text string to int, because I can successfully convert it now to an integer because we did our val there. Hey? Right, let's run the program. Please don't bomb out, because I never saved the work. Right, so number of learners, I'm going to make it 3. What if I put a J there or something, and then I'll click enter? Please only enter an integer. Right, I'm going to put a 3, and click enter. Name number 1, Joe. Name number 2, Tom. Name number 3, Mike. There we go. We got 3 names because it's less than 5. Right, so let's carry on with our program. The question says here, if more than 5 learners take the subject, 5 names must be selected. You know what? There's one thing I didn't do, is I didn't put in a sub. There's this button click over there. In fact, that is where we're supposed to put our code. Okay, let's just use it then. Fine, we'll go and use it. VAR is subject colon string, and then s subject equals edt subject dot text. Right. Okay. Some reason, but we'll go and use this. Just move this code over here. That's where we're going to do all our stuff. And then of course I've got to go and declare the counter. So now a k counter for our for loop. So you see this our count ARR is our global variable. There it is. We use together with AR names. And we're going to go from k equals 1 to our count ARR. Remember I only put 3 names in, so it only displayed 3 names. Now if our count ARR is greater than 5, then we have to do something else. Let's read the instruction. 5 names must be selected as follows. Determine how many times 5 can be divided into the number of learners. If the answer is 3, then every third learner must be so we're going to use div. Okay, div, because we don't want any remainder. To get 17 divided by 5 gives us 3. We know that we're using div, we're not using mod, because we get the mod gives us the remainder. So what we have to do is we have to do a mod and a div story. So I'm going to call it I quantity. I quantity will be equal to our count ARR, the number of learners altogether, div 5. That's what we want. So our quantity has to go and basically be calculated as yeah. So in this case, if it was 17, if our count ARR was 17 and div that with 5, we get 3. So we're going to basically skip every 1, 2, and then every third learner in this case has to be moderated. So this is a problem, isn't it? Because 15, so what's going to happen? We're going to have a for loop. It's going to go, well, are we going to use a for loop? That's the question, because we're going to add, we're going to start from 1, and then we're going to go to the third one, and the 6th one. Let's think about it carefully, starting from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the third one. So we're actually adding 3 minus 1. We're starting at 1. We're adding 2. So if k is 1, let's say our counter k is 1, and then we're going to add 3. Let's go and get an Excel spreadsheet out here because that might help. I'll draw it up. Okay, so we're going to go and display if the number of learners that have to be if 5 goes into 17, we said it's 3. Hey, what is my variable for it? Quantity. So we're going to skip. We're going to go every third one for that. So I'm going to draw an imaginary array here of names. Okay, now I think I've put yeah, I got tired of writing capitals, didn't I? Right, just the want of better names. Anyway, let's go and get our boxes in. Box numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So our count ARR in this case is 8. Okay, so we're going to go every, what is 8? 8 div 5 equals Oops. Equals 1. Yeah. 5 goes into 8 only once. So that means we're going to skip. Yeah. 3 files are 15. And we skipped every 3. So basically with this one, 5 into 8 goes 1, so remainder 3. Not using the 3, we're using 1. So every 1, we're actually going to go all the way. We're going to do 5. But yeah, let's go and do a bit more complex example before we carry on. Let's go make it a little bit more. Let's make it 15, shall we? Let's say we have 15 names. I'm not going to go and make more names because seriously I haven't got time for that. So say we have 15 names, okay? Oops, 1 to 5. So we have 15 names. I'm not going to put names in all of them. So 15, the 5 we know is 3. Okay, so we'll do the complex problem first. It's much easier to understand. So that means we're going to have this one moderated, and then we're going to have 4, 5, 6. So it's every third. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay. Now, how does that work if we're using a loop? It will be k, and 3 is our number. Eh? If we're starting at k equals 1, if we're using a for loop, or even if we use a while loop and we have a counter that's going through the thing one at a time. So k equals 1. If we add 2 to 1, we'll get box number 3, won't we? Right, so k equals now 3. But if we add 3 to box number 3, then we'll get 6. So actually we have to start numbering at k equals 0. Because otherwise we're not going to get our numbering correct. So we have to start at 0 and then add 3. Okay, so let's go and try this with a while loop. I'm going to set a counter for inum equals 0, and I actually want to stop. Well, we'll try a while loop. While inum, because we want to go through each box, is not equal to r count ARR. Okay, well inum is not equal to r count ARR. What is r count ARR here? It is 15. So we have 15 boxes full. Let's assume we have 15 boxes full. So r count ARR is 15, but we're going to do this. We're going to increment inum by whatever I quantity is. Not so. And remember, this increment does work. What does it actually mean? It says inum equals inum plus I quantity. Now that translates to the diagram here, where if k is 0, then we'll have box number 3. Okay, k is 3, then we're going to move on to what's k plus quantity is 6, and then we'll have k equal to 6. Whenever k is 6, we're going to add 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, then we'll have 9, and so on. So if k is 0, we're going to add 3 to k, to inum. Well, actually it's not k, it's inum, isn't it? Remember I used inum here. So that's what I'm going to do now. Right. So we're going to have our num there. Our num's going to start at 0, and we're going to add 3 to it. And we're going to add 3 to each time. We add 3 each time, and we keep adding 3 until we get to 15. I mean, our count ARR. Okay, but what are we going to do each time we add 3? I'm going to display the name in the rich edit. In this case, I'm using rnum as my counter. rnum. Okay. Now, if rnum reaches 15, which it might do, if we had 15 boxes that are filled and rnum gets to 15, I count ARR is 15 and it actually reaches that number. If I count ARR is 15 and rnum gets to that number, well, we actually want to still display it, don't we? We actually still, well, we would have displayed it over here. It'll be 15. And if it is, that's going to be the end. The while loop will stop. If I count's less than 15, well, it will still try and display something here. So we're going to have a bit of a problem. We're going to see how this works. So let's go and run the code. And I'm going to actually type in 15 numbers. Number of learners, 1, 5. Enter. Enter the name. Right, I'm just going to put random names in, okay? Okay, and then, oh, we're supposed to make that other button visible. The panel. This panel has been basically made invisible or whatever, so let's go and just, we can do it in code too, you know, but yeah, we actually want to see it. I ain't got time for that. Right, 15, right. Okay, and then we're going to type in the school, whatever school, and then we go there. Now, what it's done, it has actually printed out 5 names because I wanted 15. Actually, maybe I should even put in something else here. I should rather maybe, let's make it 10 proper names, okay? 10. Joe, John, James, Julie, Jenny, Jasper, June, Jack, Jerome, and June. Right, and then let's go over here. John, Julie, Jasper, Jack, June. Now there's something over there. Oh, that's because the array was a global array and there was still something in it. Yeah, I had 15 names. But if I had 10 names, let's go and see. I stopped at 10. It shouldn't actually display that. Yes. Our count ARR is 10. Okay, so 10 to 5 is 2. So it's every 2 names. Not so. So number's 0. The next one will be 2. Be that one. Let's go and you can see how many names will actually be displayed. So if it's 2, 0 plus 2 is there. Every second one is going to be moderated. And then 2 plus 2 will be 4. So we are going to start at 0. 4, and then we'll have 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there is 5 there. Now the reason why that letter is here is because I didn't clear the array before I entered more learners, and there were 15 before, remember? So basically the program does work. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to write it as well, and you're going to check out what will happen, let's say, if you put in 6 learners. Okay, I'm going to put in 6 learners. Because that's greater than or equal to 5, isn't it? So enter. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. And then let's whatever school. A, B, C, D, E, F. Now, if it was 6 learners, and it's 1, so 0 plus 1 is 1. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first 5 get moderated. So that works perfectly fine. So I'm going to stop now, and you can try this by yourself, and see you tomorrow.